Welcome back, range fans, to the third episode of the Collector's Corner.
Welcome, range fans. Mr. Revolver Guy here with dayattherange.com.
In this episode of the Collector's Corner, we will be reviewing quickly the Smith & Wesson 629-4 Light Magnum Hunter. So, what makes this so special? As we start out with all reviews, we're going to make sure this thing is safe to talk about. As you can see, there's nothing in the cylinder at all. Nothing in the pipe, the tube, or the barrel. Now we know this thing is safe to talk about, so we will close the cylinder. So what makes this thing so special? The Smith & Wesson 629-4 Magnum Light Hunter, there's 1 in 500 of these made. And as I told you guys before, the hardest thing about doing these collector's corners is having to clean these things and return them. I don't mind cleaning them since they've been loaned to me, but gosh, I have to return them to the rightful owner. And I got to tell you, this one is sweet, folks. The Light Magnum Hunter, again, 629-4, and there's 1 in 500 of these made. As you can see here, it has the, we've got a scope on this one. And the scope is a 2x Leupold scope. We're gonna take it out to the range and shoot it today, get it sighted in. I just got this thing mounted for the gentleman who loaned me this, buddy of mine, good friend, more like a brother, really. And as also you can see, slab-sided barrel, very thin profile barrel, and also it is magna ported, folks. That's right, this is a 6-inch barrel and it's magna ported. It also has a really nice muzzle crown and it is recessed in there. Nice orange high front sight, but we won't be using that orange front sight today, as we will be sighting in this 2x Leupold scope. There is something just drop dead sexy to me about an unfluted cylinder. I really like the unfluted cylinder, and I got to tell you, after shooting this thing on the range today, this scope, though not all that heavy, does add some additional weight. But the balance is really nice. And I think the unfluted cylinder and the extra weight of the unfluted cylinder adds weight to the rear of the pistol. That way to give you really nice balance. Moving on back, it has the traditional blade sight, rear thin blade sight. That's windage adjustable. Again, we won't be using that today as we will be using the scope. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this revolver is a performance center revolver. It has the teardrop hammer and also the firing pin, folks. The firing pin is mounted on the hammer. The trigger has a rear trigger stop, and also this trigger comes in at 10 pounds, folks. Very, very smooth. The trigger comes in at 10 pounds on double action, and on single action, the trigger comes in at about 4.5 pounds according to my Smith & Wesson RCBS trigger gauge. The back strap is serrated. That will help you get a nice purchase on the weapon, a nice high purchase, which is how you're supposed to shoot these revolvers. And that's about it. That's it on the Collector's Corner. Thank you for joining me today in the Collector's Corner, but stay tuned because we're going to get this thing out to the range and see how the 629-4 Performance Center Light Magnum Hunter performs out on the range. Let's get going. All right, range fans, you saw the bench review earlier. Again, I'm trying to keep these videos to under 10 minutes for you. What we're going to do is try to sight in this 2-power scope, which is a Leupold. I've got 2 big targets set up downrange. I hope this thing is somewhat on target. I did try to laser it. I've never done that with a handgun. So I hope it's somewhat on target so it doesn't hit my camera down range. But let's get some ears in and see how this thing does on target. See if I can get it sighted in. I'm gonna shoot it from the old sandbag rest. Shoot it single action. 1 in 500 magna port. Light hunter, scoped with 2 power scope. We're gonna aim for dead center of the target and see where that first shot comes out at. All right, we're gonna go down range, see where that landed, and then come back and adjust the scope. Take a look at that, folks. I had the crosshairs aligned right dead center of this target, right at the neck of the target. So I'd say it's about, 1.5 inches too high. I might just leave it because I'm at 20 yards. And then when the owner of this pistol gets a chance to shoot it at 50 yards, we'll see where it comes out at. So let's get back to the bench and put these other 5 rounds, or how about we do this? Let's load a fresh 6 rounds and aim for the X-ring down here in this right target and see how they come out. Man, I hope this is right. I hope it wasn't just luck, but it seems to be about 1.5 inches high at 20 yards on the pistol range here. I'll get the owner out with this magnificent Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum 6-inch barrel, magna ported, 1 in 500 made. I told you the story about it on the bench. Man, I can't believe I walked right past this thing and didn't see it. He even asked me, "Are you sure you don't want that 44 Magnum?" Little did I know what I was passing up, and he purchased it. So now we've got a scope on this thing. We're gonna put it down range on the X. We got a fresh 6 rounds. Let's see how it groups on target. Get these ears in. Shoot it single action, see how she does. Yep, about 1.5 inches high. Whoa, that was way off. I don't know what's up with that. Hope the scope holds 0. I think it does. Pretty sure it does. It's a Leupold. It's probably me because that one went right next to the first one. I am shooting 240 grain reloads in this thing. Man, what a hunting pistol this thing would turn out to be. Hog, deer, doesn't stand a chance. Last round. All right, make sure she's empty. She's empty. We're gonna unload it just to be safe. Let's go down range, take a look at the target. Man, she is a sweet shooter, folks. Wow, folks, take a look at that grouping. Did I fire 5? Ask yourself. Or did I fire 6? What do you think? 44 Magnum. Well, you saw it. I fired 1, 2, 3, that's 4 and 5, 1 through the same hole. You can see that's a little oblong there, and 6 here. I can't believe how accurate that thing is, or I should believe it. It is a performance center. Again, the Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum Light Hunter 629-4. Wow, what a pleasure. The only hard part about doing the collector's corner is having to clean the pistol up. Yes, no matter how many times I shoot it, I clean it. I like to return it better than what I found it. So we're gonna go home, we're gonna clean it up, return it to the owner. Gosh, I hate returning it. Get him out here on the range at the 50-yard line and see how well it does with the 2-power Leupold and Smith & Wesson Performance Center 629-4 Light Hunter 44 Magnum. Thanks for joining Mr. Revolver Guy on the Collector's Corner at dayattherange.com. Before we close out this video and get out of here, folks, I'm gonna shoot 6 more rounds downrange. I just can't help myself. This thing is so smooth. Let's see what we can do from 20 yards back. From the bench was 25 yards. Let's see what we can do from 20 yards back, standing with 2-power scope out of the old Light Hunter. We're gonna shoot double action at that. Woo! Man, this thing is a little heavy with the scope on it. Gives me the shakes a little bit, but tells me I need to get in the old gym and do some more bench press and dumbbell curls. Whew. That's 3. Four, folks. We'll show you the target here in a minute. Five. Oh yeah. We got 6 rounds out of it. She ejects just fine. Woo! There's the target, folks. All 6 rounds. 44 Magnum. Standing, and I actually paced it out to 18 yards. Whew, I think I wouldn't do too bad on a hog hunt with this thing. Again, Collector's Corner. Dayattherange.com, folks. Come check us out. See some of the rarest gems out there. 1 in 500. Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum slab-sided Light Hunter, and also ported. What a beast. Come join us. Mr. Revolver Guy, signing out.